Why it's important to understand your communication history. This is Tracy Ferrand from Smart Communication Craft. So, do you understand your communication history? I don't know if anyone has ever asked you the question, but it's very, very important to understand our communication identity and our brand because when you think about it, if we've never spoken and never expressed ourselves verbally in writing or in body language, no one would know who we were. We would be able to develop a personality and identity. So, truly, communication is like our identity. It's our brand. It's the way people know us, the way we move, the way we speak, the way we write, and our expressions and so on. So it's very important to understand our history. Why? So that we can understand our strengths and our weakness and our makeup and to be able to upskill to work on our strong points and our weak points. So do you understand your communication history? So why it's important and the value that's in it for you is to understand yourself, to understand your history, and to be able to understand those around you, whether it's in your immediate circle, outside of your circle in another country, or in a personal or business setting, to understand relationships, to gain greater value, and so on. So, understand yourself, understand the people around you or you come in contact with from time to time, and to make connections and to navigate situations. So that's why it's important to understand your communication history and others. So there are four levels I've come up with. One is the hereditary history. So the hereditary history goes back to the history of humankind and when humankind started to communicate, whether to knock two stones to signal to the other person. I'm not the expert on the history, but I'm just going to give the basic sense of what it is and how to understand it. So it goes back to languages and the history of languages, whether English or French, and dialects and how we came to be in this particular moment. Why it's important to understand the hereditary history? Because each language carries a set of rules, a set of nuances. It carries culture with it and a set of relationship, which country we're connected to. So, for example, one island may be connected to the British Empire, and maybe it has African roots, and so there's a mix of culture that's right there. Maybe somebody else is connected to French, or maybe a local dialect, or maybe another language in the East, such as Chinese or Japanese, and so on. So it's important to understand the hereditary history and the cultures and the nuances that come with them. So when we interact with people, we have a deeper insight into who they are. Level two is our cultural background. So it's our nationality, it's our geography. Were we from the city or the town? What's the demographic we spent our time around? And so on. Are we from a lower income, a middle income, a high income? What was our level of exposure in those communities? So that has to do with our cultural background, the values of a country, music, food, technology, information, what exactly is our cultural background, and so on. So those things go into it. Level three is our personal makeup, and it's where everything gels together. So coming back from our history, our grandparents, and how we came to be, and the communities that we were born in, the school we went to, the kind of communication that we had with our teachers, and so on, were we encouraged, and so on, in our families, in our communities, the kind of groups we attached ourselves to. What's our career? What's our education level or education background? What did we study? Did we do practical things or did we do more intellectual things or maybe social things or sports? Also, our career. Are we an accountant, a farmer, a hairdresser? And the kind of people we surround ourselves with or have been surrounding ourselves with. And our social values and the social values of the people around us and even our hobbies. So it goes back to, did you do sports in school and do you continue to do sports? Do you play golf? Do you play netball? Or do you watch sports? Are you just not a sports person? So are you into jokes and humor? Are you more the serious type that's more into politics and different things? So understanding our personal makeup is quite important. So everything flows down into who we are and how we came to communicate in this particular way. Also, were we encouraged to speak up or were we not encouraged to speak up? Did we Were we exposed to different social situations that make us feel comfortable as adults when we go out. What exactly it is that was our track record coming up in terms of our level of ability to speak and the things that we spoke about and enjoyed and so on. Were we allowed to be our own free person and so on? So that forms a part of our communication identity. And level 4 is a current situation. So is it a personal situation? Is it a business situation? So that's one part of it. Also, are you in a situation where you're a little stressed? Maybe for the past 2 years you've been stressed. Normally you're a person who is calm, well organized in your thoughts, but maybe you're going through current difficulties, and so you're finding yourself not being able to think clearly and to communicate based on what exactly is happening with you currently. Have you changed jobs? Have you changed locations? What's happening around you personally and professionally? So that goes into a personal situation. And the other area in terms of current situation is where you're at presently. Are you having a communication with a friend or family? Are you at a party? Who are the people at the party? Are you at a meeting? And so on. And it flows down into that. So you may look at someone and they're at a party, but they are from, let's say, a different country, and they speak, maybe 2 languages, but their native language is maybe French or Igbo, and then or some other language, and then their second language is English, or maybe they speak both. They're equally fluent. So understanding that person and their culture, their career, are they an accountant, or are this person? You get to delve deeper into who the person is, because if you notice that some people will say, I've known this person for years, but I just don't get them, or I didn't expect them to communicating this way in this particular situation, because we didn't have a deeper understanding into who they are. And they may surprise you in a refreshing way. You find out that they like humor, they like comedy. Yeah, they're a lawyer, they're a comedian, they are maybe a serious construction worker, but they do like humor as well. And that's a way you could have connected with that person. So it's important to find those points of connection with different people. So that's how it flows, going back to the level 1, the hereditary history of each person. So follow me now, we're tracking, flowing down to second level, cultural background, geography and history and so on. Then level 3, personal makeup, upbringing, career, and so on, hobbies and so on. And 4, our current situation, personally and professionally. What is a person going through, a win or through a loss? Win or through a loss? Are they at a party or a business meeting? What is the current situation? And bringing it all together, what is the goal and what is the communication style of that particular person? Because every interaction has a goal, whether it is to explain something, to be understood, to give an instruction, to win a person over, to make a call for action, maybe nationally, globally, in whatever way, to make a good impression with a friend, to build a connection with someone. Every interaction has a goal, and understanding ourselves and people will help us to bridge those gaps and make it a little easier, because we're not cutting through uncertainty. We have a more experienced, relaxed sense of being, and we can competently communicate and carry our interest forward. So that's why it's important to understand our communication history. I'll be speaking more about it in other videos, but that's just a basic idea. So do you understand your communication history? I'm just giving a little assignment. Think about it. Think about your race. Think about your nationality. Think about the language that you speak. Think about the history of that language. Think about the geography, the location, the climate, and so on, and how you came to be in this particular situation. Just think about your history, as I mentioned, the language, the culture, the race, your nationality. Did you grow up in the city or the countryside? What kind of school? Low income, high income? The type of communication that took place in your family, in different work situations that you grew up in the industry that you grew up in, your values, how you communicate. Just think about it and do a little track record and see if you can find some weaknesses and strengths and why that is the case. So that's a little assignment for you to think about. This is Tracy Ferrand from Smart Communication Craft. Look out for my other videos. Find your communication history. Cheers.